the 2024 Hyundai Palisade. Let's talk about what's new for this latest model year. Then I can get into my personal thoughts regarding the Palisade and perhaps even compare it to some rival SUVs. And towards the end, I will tell you how you can save on these new Palisades and other SUVs as well in this ridiculous car market that we are in. All right, let's get started. For 2024, the Calligraphy, which is their top trim level, gets a night edition. So the Calligraphy night edition will be the new top trim level. And as the name suggests, you're gonna get blacked out accents. Aside from that, you only get subtle changes like dual zone climate control in the front and single zone climate control for the rear seats. That's gonna be standard on the base SE trim level, and the XRT model, which is like the off-road looking Palisade, it's now going to come with rear side window shades, and the limited trim level is going to get ambient interior lights. That's it for all of your changes in 2024. On the screen here, I'm going to have the various trim levels so you can see what comes with each trim level. Personally, I recommend getting the SEL with the premium package. That's going to be your best value proposition in the lineup. And as we're about to see, that's also the best leasing Palisade. But yeah, what exactly do you get with the SEL premium package? Well, quite frankly, a lot. You got your 20-inch wheels, you have auto leveling rear suspension, you have the digital gauge cluster, you have a 360 camera, blind spot view monitor, the Harman Kardon audio system, you get the 4-way driver lumbar support, a power moonroof, heated and ventilated rear seats, which is crazy, and you get the heated steering wheel. Obviously, the front seats are going to be heated and ventilated as well, and you get the garage home link and much more features. And this model is going to go for about $48,600. That's really not bad at all, because those are some serious features that you're getting. And another thing I really appreciate about this SEL premium package is you get the laminated side glass, or like the double pane glass, not only in the front but also the rear windows. Those are also going to be acoustic double pane glass, whatever you want to call it. And obviously the front windshield is going to be laminated acoustic glass for sure. So yeah, these are no joke high level features. In some cases you would have to step up to 6-figure vehicles to get things like heated and ventilated rear seats. That's crazy. So to get that in a vehicle that costs less than 50 grand before any discounts is extremely impressive. And I was able to check out this exact trim level in SEL premium pack with all-wheel drive. And by the way, all-wheel drive is going to add 2 grand to the price. However, I think that is worth getting. And you know what? I was impressed with it. It was quiet. It was very comfortable. The seats were extremely plush. I appreciated that, and the lumbar support was excellent. And I already went on and on about the features that come with the Palisade that I just spoke to you about. But I have to say, back in 2020 when I checked out the Telluride, I did feel like that was a more impressive vehicle. The Telluride had a more substantial feel, and it felt very similar to my 2018 Genesis G80 sedan, which is one of my most favorite luxury sedans ever. The Telluride exhibited that type of quality when rolling down the road. The Palisade wasn't quite like that. It was just a really softly sprung SUV. It didn't handle as well as the Telluride, meaning your occupants will notice sharper turns a little bit more in the Palisade. But regardless of that, even with 20-inch wheels, the ride was pretty supple. And many journalists complained about wind noise coming through the side mirrors. I personally did not experience any of that. And I was doing some highway speeds in this Palisade, yet no crazy wind noise. This thing was silent for me. And that's not to disregard what the other journalists have experienced, because I noticed the same thing when I checked out multiple Lexus LS 500s. That is a flagship Lexus sedan, by the way. And I noticed some vehicles would have wind noise, others would not. So it is imperative that you, a potential consumer, go out and do a thorough test drive of these vehicles. Make sure it's behaving properly. Get it out on the highway, do some good speeds in it. Make sure you're taking it over some bumps because there is crazy inconsistency with a lot of these new cars. So just because you're buying a new vehicle does not mean you're buying a perfect car. You still have to test drive it because you can literally drive 5 Palisades and I'm sure all 5 of them are going to feel different. So it's not just a knock on Hyundai. Even top tier brands like Lexus, Toyota, Honda, it does not matter. They all have problems. They all have inconsistencies. None of these vehicles are perfect. You have to do your own due diligence and test drive these things. Another thing, this is a proper 3-row. I am 5'11" and I can fit in the 3rd row of the Palisade. The trunk is also decent even with the 3rd row up. And another thing to keep in mind about, the SEL premium packages or even the Palisade Limiteds, you actually have physical buttons for your HVAC. When you move up to the calligraphy, they actually give you a screen to interact with for the HVAC. I prefer the buttons, so that's another reason why I think SEL Premium is the way to go. But yeah, as I promised before, here's how you can save on these new Hyundai Palisades. I have partnered with one of the largest brokers in the United States. His name is AutoCompanion. He is offering $4,000 off of MSRP on a Palisade SEL premium package all-wheel drive. That's about 8% off of MSRP. And mind you, this is the only trim level that leases out well. And how can you tell? Well, that's because AutoCompanion also has a free leasing calculator, which I'm going to have linked in the description box below. This is a powerful tool because leasing programs, they change every month, and this calculator will update every month. It will show you the interest rate on the lease, along with the residual values and the incentives that you can qualify for in your local area. So even if you're not interested in leasing a vehicle, you can still use this calculator to figure out all of the incentives in your area. And this is important because incentives stack on top of the dealer discount. So if you happen to qualify for military, you get $500 from Hyundai. That's a discount coming straight from the manufacturer. That $500 is going to stack on top of the $4,000 discount that AutoCompanion is offering. And yeah, if you do a 0 money down lease for 3 years with perfect credit, you're going to be paying about $531 a month on this Palisade. Every other trim level, the interest rate is significantly higher. It's going to be like 6%, 5%. On this SEL premium package, the interest rate on the lease is 3.3%. And for the Telluride, it's the same story. The interest rates are like 5-6%, so they lease out for more money. And I get it, not everyone's going to be interested in leasing, but I just want to let you know and show you a different way of purchasing vehicles where you can drive these higher end, high MSRP vehicles for not that much money per month. And if you want to buy out the vehicle at the end of the lease, I'm sure you can do that. You just need to ask your local dealership or your finance manager about that, or Hyundai Financial themselves, and they can walk you through that process. However, I do not recommend buying out this vehicle at the end because, quite frankly, most new cars, they are disposable. I know nobody wants to hear that. People want to marry these things and hang on to these new cars like a family heirloom, but that's just not a wise idea with these new cars. I already mentioned to you the inconsistencies of new car quality and the sheer amount of technology, the drivetrain issues. Yeah, it's just not wise to keep these things past the warranty period or past the lease. You can also come to websites like nhtsa.gov, and this will show you various consumer complaints, recalls, and TSBs. We do have a fire risk with the Palisade. An electric oil pump assembly may cause fire. That's something to keep in mind. So it's just up to you if you want to deal with the mishaps of this brand. If you're going to buy into one of these cars, make sure you have a high quality Hyundai dealership nearby. One of the easy ways you can tell you have a good Hyundai dealership nearby is if they also sell Genesis vehicles. You have to be a top tier Hyundai dealership in order to sell Genesis cars. So if you have one of those Hyundai dealers nearby, it might be okay. And obviously if you live in other places like Australia, where Hyundai really takes care of the consumer, then sure, the Palisade is a no-brainer. Keep in mind, competing products like the Honda Pilot, they're not perfect either. New Hondas will have their own set of issues. The V6 engine that the Pilot comes with, it's brilliant, but they had to screw it up by implementing cylinder deactivation. So no new car is perfect, but the Honda Pilot is a good competitor to the Palisade. It's got similar type of ride quality and it's also very quiet. However, the Honda Pilot handles better than the Palisade. So you have a better sense of security behind the wheel and your occupants aren't going to be toppling over each other as much during hard cornering. So the Pilot is great, but absolutely no vehicle in this class is going to come close to the amount of features per dollar that Hyundai has to offer here. And this Palisade, I mean, a lot of people like to use the phrase, lipstick on a pig. I really don't want to use that phrase when it comes to this Palisade or the Telluride because they do take it a step further. It is a high effort product for the most part. It's definitely obtainable luxury for a normal family. But I get it, if you don't want to deal with this brand, Honda's another option, and AutoCompanion does offer Honda deals as well. He's also offering $4,000 off of MSRP on a Honda Pilot. If you want to take advantage of any of these deals, he's located in Washington, D.C. You will either have to ship the vehicle, which is something you have to pay for, or you can pick up the vehicle at DC. AutoCompanion does charge a broker fee, but if you sign up with my affiliate link in the description box below, he will take some money off of that broker fee. So hopefully you appreciate all of this information and all of these resources. I tried to go above and beyond what the generic mainstream car reviewers have to offer in their videos. God bless them. I think most of them do a good job, but I want to offer you more resources, especially in regard to saving money with these new vehicles. These are rotting, depreciating liabilities. I want to make sure that you're getting a good deal. I want you to be a more informed consumer. I want you to know about all of your options. And if you appreciate that, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you are a Hyundai Palisade owner, please let us know in the comment section how the vehicle has been holding up for you. I saw on Reddit many owners were thrilled with their Palisade. They never had a single issue with it. After like 20,000 miles, they didn't have any problems. God bless them. I hope that if you and your family consider buying a Palisade, that you will also not have any issues with it. But thank you so much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye.